what can you do to protect your credit? So sign up for a credit monitoring service. All right.
Right.
Like I personally use Credit Wise. You know.
Credit Wise, Mint, Capital One has their own. Chase has their own deal. TurboTax. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yep. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You look at it at least once a month. Make sure nothing weird is on your report. Nobody's trying to do identity theft.
Right.
And if you have been victim of identity theft, you want to take care of that. Then you actually want to put a stop, like on your credit with the credit bureaus, where you have to lift that stop in order for anybody to be able to open any more accounts under your social security number. And then the next one is, this might be a little controversial, but do not co-sign anything ever for anyone unless that bill is being drafted out of your account. I'm serious.
Chris, I want a Tesla. I want it tomorrow. I need you to co-sign for me.
Look,
Young equity. Come on.
Now I understand if you're a parent and you have a child that wants you to co-sign a car for them or something. If that's how you want to go about it, that's fine. But what I recommend is that you have that bill drafted from your account and your child pays you cash. Because you rather them miss a payment than them pay late. Because you're all going to suffer if they do that. You're going to be in their boat needing a cosign.
Yeah, I'm not co-signing for anybody. I don't care who it is or what it's for. Definitely staying away from a cosign.
Not even for children?
I guess if I had to, but if I'm in a position to where I'm trying to give my children something, you're talking about a car, cash car, something that's $5,000 to $7,000, something that's modest, a Hyundai, an Accord. That'd be their first approach there. So, I don't think I'd co-sign. No, sir.
But Devin, we could use you as a glaring example.
What's up?
So, right, you wanted your Audi.
Yeah.
If your dad told you, say, hey, pause on the Audi, I'll help you get a Hyundai cash, would you have passed on that Audi to get that Honda?
No, because I financed that by myself. I wanted the Audi because I wanted to have some type of status symbol. I wanted, I just got my first gig, my first job or whatever, and I wanted that. I wouldn't have, because I had been driving cash cars before that. So there was no way I was driving a cash car making decent salary. You see what I'm saying? That's the way I was thinking back then. I've grown up since then, right? Okay. But so to answer your question on a personal note, nah, I wouldn't have co-signed. No, not at all. Or taken the co-sign.
Wow. Well, I thank my dad for being willing to co-sign my Mercedes when I got it fresh out of college, but I wish he would have told me no so I could have done something different.
Well, hey, I mean, that was very generous. You know what I'm saying?
What a time to be alive, right?
What a time. Whipping, right?
Nah, I mean, I had an auto draft. He knew I was going to pay, so.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you.
He knew I'm the responsible child in the house, so.
Right.
He already knew what time that was, but nah, man. I mean, but that's also a great thing on how to protect your credit. Mm-hmm. Do not utilize credit to improve your status.
Oh, 100%. Stay away from doing that. Stay away from trying to impress people on Instagram, using your credit cards and having to, have all these collections and putting yourself in debt. Something that I would do for my kids, I would start off a credit card very early. Okay. Right? So maybe at the age of 15, make them an authorized user on my account, put the card away, don't use their card, but set up their credit at a very young age. That's a tip.
Yeah.
And, that's something that happened for me. I think I had a limit of $300, $400, $500. I don't remember what it was, but I never used the card. If I did need it, it was for like gas or something like that. But at the time, I had a job, so I was able to pay those small $30 a month bills or whatever it was. So definitely make your kids an authorized user. Hide the card. You don't have to give them the card. If you have a responsible child, then maybe give them the card. Test it out.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So we've talked about why it's important to have a credit card,
Yep.
how to improve your credit score, how to protect your credit score. So now there's a small demographic. Well, maybe it's actually not a small demographic. It's actually a big demographic
What's that?
of people who don't have credit and still want things. So let's talk about the credit given at pawn shops,
Oh,
payday lenders, some of these sleazy car dealerships that say no credit check needed. Let's
people
kind
to
of
people loans, right?
which ones?
People to people, P2P.
I don't have too much beef with that. It depends. It depends
Okay.
on that. Because now, if we're talking about, because a hard money loan is a form of a P2P loan,
Sure.
and I don't believe in loans, but that's something I could probably entertain depending on my liquidity at the moment.
Yeah, but somebody could take advantage of that situation. Say if you had a cousin that wanted $5,000, they wanted a loan or whatever, and you give them the 5,000. If there wasn't something in place, or maybe there is something in place, they might take advantage of that agreement, and that's something I feel like I want to stay away from. The P2P loans. I'm not having that.
I mean, I guess it's different, right? Because I have a network of friends who are fairly successful that I could come to for a hard money loan.
Sure.
And they would deliver, and I would deliver because I would deliver on paying them back because I know that I have them to come to if I need a loan, if I'm not quite liquid. And then vice versa. They can come to me for a hard money loan and they will pay it knowing that, hey, in the future, I'm somebody who has cash that they can come to if they need to be liquid. So I wouldn't give a random person on the street, but that's not who I'm speaking to, right? Because all those people that are doing hard money loans, a lot of them have really good credit. They do hard money loans because they don't want to wait to get the money. They do a loan with a bank or a credit union, you got to wait. And yeah, and then, they usually pay those rapid pays. Mm-hmm. So like the hard money loans I've given to be like a year, and I get my 6% for 1 year of them holding my money, and then they pay me back within a year versus getting this.
It could be a come up, sure. It could be a come up. I agree.
Yeah. But it depends who you're dealing with, right? But I know who I'm. Unless you have that kind of circle or that kind of network, I wouldn't recommend hard money loans. If this is your first time hearing about a hard money loan, it's probably not for you.
I definitely agree.
But what I was speaking to more is that all those people that advertise no credit check, you don't need credit, usually predatory.
Okay.
So, these payday loans, they garnish your wages if you don't pay them. They know you probably can't afford to pay them. These no credit check car dealers, they're giving you astronomical interest rates. They know they couldn't charge anybody who had any kind of credit. So my recommendation is this: stay away from that. Whatever you were doing to get around without a car, do it longer so you can afford to buy a car cash. I'd rather you drive a $1,500 car than to get a $10,000 car with a 30-40% interest rate that you'll never be able to pay off.
Yeah, and there's also public transportation, right?
Yeah, depending on the city you're in.
Depending on the city that you're in. But, every major city should have some type of form of public transportation, right?
But the suburbs don't.
Sometimes they do.
But like Sugar Land doesn't.
Well, they're building that with the Metro Next.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not here yet.
It's not here yet, but it's something that they're expanding.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely look into public transportation. There's bikes, right? So you can get from point A to point B with your bike.
You're not being reasonable.
I'm not. What do you mean? People have bicycles. Okay, if you're going to work in your area, if you don't have a car, then most likely you should probably work down the street from where you live.
It's not always that easy. You know how hard it is for some people to get jobs.
I understand that. But then you have to level set your expectation and take that job that you might not want. Maybe work at a Walgreens as a clerk and ride your bicycle down the street for that income. What's wrong with that?
I mean, nothing's wrong with it. I just don't know if that's actionable for everybody. I don't know if everybody can do that.
Well, for the people that it fits.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Take one from your book.
Okay, for the people that it fits.
Exactly.
But the moral of the story is this, right? We can agree. Stay away from any loan that says no credit check because it's likely predatory.
1,000%. I definitely agree with you on that. I don't have any experiences using non-credit areas or buying a cash car, using somebody else's credit. I have not done that. So I would stay away from it.
I almost did it one time recently, mind you. I know, right?
Why? What happened?
At the time, I didn't want credit pulls, but I had just bought my house and I was getting furniture. Obviously, when you buy a house, I don't care who you are, you're coming off tens of thousands.
Okay.
So I'm buying furniture. I'm doing this all by myself. Right?
Sure.
Because I'm single. Marriage status wise, I'm single. But so
you looking for people or what? I'm playing. Keep going.
You're gonna get me in trouble. But yeah, so I was at the furniture store and they're like, "Hey, 0% interest for 6 months," and I was like, "Man, I could use a delay since I got all this money coming out of my account." I was like, "Okay, what's the difference between the no credit and the credit check?" Because I was like, "I don't really want my credit check." Yeah. They're like, "Well, you got to pay a $200 application fee for the no credit." And I was like, "If I use credit, it's no application fee." And I sat there at that moment, and I was just like, they really hope I get this loan and don't pay it off in 6 months so they can hit me upside with the interest rate. Let me just pay it off right now while I have it. And I just paid it off right then and there. I didn't even mess with it, but I almost did.
Yeah, I feel where you're coming from, but it's like this. If you're gonna buy furniture, using your credit is really not a big deal because you already bought your house, you've already paid your car down. You don't need your credit anytime soon. So why wouldn't you just use the credit and pull the credit? You don't need it.
I mean, but I didn't have so many credit pulls in that short period of time because I had got a loan for my Tesla at the time earlier that year. Then I got the loan for the house. Okay. So those are 2 hard hits. And I was like, man, I don't need a third. Because, once you have 3, it's bad. So I was like, let me just save it. Because, I had the money. So it was just pointless in the end.
You could have just swiped the card, right? You could have just racked up credit card debt.
No, I did put it on a credit card, but I paid it off in 4 days.
Sure. I feel
Yeah, but that's what I did. And,
yeah.
The lady looked kind of shocked when I put out the credit card. I guess because I was talking about the different options. I was like, I'll just put it on here.
Man, speaking of credit cards, I got an invitation to have a gold Amex. I'm like, okay.
Bro, you can apply and get it on your own right now.
Right. I'm like, okay. Why not? Okay. The thing for me about having Amex.
Annual fee,
right? And on top of that, it doesn't have a limit. So whenever I look at my credit utilization ratio, if I were to swipe my card, say spend $1,500, $2,500, it's going to add to my balance, my total balance. And it doesn't have a balance. It doesn't have a credit limit on there. So it's going to negatively impact my credit utilization for that snapshot. So I try to stay away from that because any given day, my credit score could go from, 750 to 730 or back up to 750, and I don't have time for that. So I stay away from the cash cards.
All right, so to kind of close this conversation out, do you have any immediate plans for your credit?
For my credit, not really. I just took out that mortgage on my new home, so I just pay my mortgage. That's it. I don't have a car note. I don't have student loans. The little credit card debt that I do have, I've wiped that out.
It's zero now?
Zero. So
good. I'm glad I could convince you.
Yeah. So I'm not really. Nah, I'm good right now.
Okay. I don't need anything right now, so I'm good. I don't need to open another credit card. I won't be getting another mortgage for a long time because I just bought this house myself as well. And the next car I do get, Tesla truck.
All cash.
Mm-hmm. Or the Porsche Taycan if my financial situation radically changes by then, yeah. But no need to use the credit right now, so I'm just coasting, man. But again, I have my home, I have everything I need, right. And my credit will be ready if anything decides to change, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Got anything else for the folks?
Never co-sign. Stay away from a firm. Stay away from cash advance places. Stay away from,
The flex.
the Instagram, and trying to impress people. That's it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode on the Young Equity Podcast. See you next time.